Welcome to School of Miracles. I'm Heather Scavetta. And today we're going to continue talking about the spiritual path and what that means and what it entails. I have people coming to me to help them connect to spirit and to help them understand their path. And I wanted to talk about one of the most popular questions, which is how to increase the connection and awareness of spirit in my life. And if you're asking that question, even if you've been on the spiritual path for a long time, we always want an improved connection because we want the partnership in our life. We want the advice and the guidance. It not only helps us, it's also a lot of fun. And we want to keep that connection going. So by asking that question, how to increase connection and awareness of spirit in our life, we have already started to increase the connection. Because intent is so important. Intent that's pure, intent that is honest. Not just something in our mind that, it may be a good idea. No, it has to come from a deeper level. It has to come from your heart, something as truth. And if you really want to increase that connection with spirit, that is the first step. Now, the way that spirit works with us is through a dialogue, is through give and take. At first, it may be one-sided because we aren't aware that spirit is talking to us, working with us. And that's all part of the journey here, is that there will be times in our life where we didn't understand that, and that's okay. But when you get to the understanding that this is happening, you can't really go back to those times because now you know. And if you know, then you are probably listening more, being more aware of your surroundings, being more aware of how you're feeling and how that changes. Is somebody from the other side trying to tell you something? Or is that generated from you? This is something that you learn to decipher. Is it a message from spirit or is it yourself? Because our body also talks to us in ways that can help us. So to learn the difference between spirit and ourselves, one of the obvious ways to discern the difference is if you are feeling anxious or fearful or pressured, it's probably coming from you. Because a lot of the messages that come from spirit are neutral. Some of them don't have emotions attached to them. It's just a thought that runs through your head or a feeling of wanting to do something. And so that's why we so often negate incoming messages, because they oftentimes will not feel as strong as when they're generated from ourselves, because a lot of the thoughts that are generated from us can have emotions attached to them. And some of those emotions can be fear-based as well. So when you are getting a thought about something, a feeling about something, you have to kind of back up and do some introspection, which is always required on the spiritual path. And spirit will always give you answers to your questions that require more introspection, because they want you to understand yourself and how you are helping yourself and how you are hindering yourself. And when we go inside and ask those questions of ourselves, we learn more and more who we really are and who we are not. So having intent to increase the communication is kind of the first step. And then what? Well, there has to be some effort on our part. We can't just wait around for Spirit to do everything, tell us everything, because now we know. We know that they're there and they're working with us. We're not this unaware person of this guiding force. So now we have to participate. And we participate in many different ways, but we have to practice this participation so that we learn, how is it with us? How do the answers come? And how do I know? Play around with it. Try different ways to get Spirit to respond to you. And when they know you're just trying to increase the connection or you're learning about the connection, they want to help you. They don't want you to be in limbo anymore. There was plenty of time in your earlier life where that occurred. So now they're like, yes, let's do this. Let's increase the communication, and we want to hear directly from you, not just us receiving Spirit, right? So when we have a structure in our life where we do meditate regularly, we have trained ourselves to be able to listen in the quiet. We are able to relax and let go and be in the moment. And that same energy needs to be present in some way when we are receiving messages from Spirit. So if I'm just washing the dishes and a thought comes to me that maybe I need an answer about something, maybe I'm just practicing and I'm just asking them a question. I can ask a question in my mind. They hear your thoughts, whether you verbalize them or not. And then I'm going to fall back in my energy to listen. I don't need to repeat the question. They heard me. All I need to do is listen now. So now I'm in a meditative mode because I'm just listening. I'm not generating thoughts. I'm not working for thoughts. I'm not asking myself, what could it be? None of that is appropriate. And that's not how you get information from Spirit. How you get information from Spirit is by listening and waiting for it to come and then noticing change. So do you start to have a feeling? Do you notice a thought coming to you? Are you hearing something? Are you, if you're just washing the dishes, maybe your eyes are open and maybe you see an image come into your mind's eye, right? So an image, it's not really in your head, it's local consciousness, but it's like maybe a memory comes to you or an image of something. And so we're kind of looking in all these areas for the answer to our question. Sometimes it's like somebody talking inside our head. They could be talking outside of us, it feels like. So there's lots of ways that these messages can come in. And the more you practice, the more you realize that it can come in this way. Another way messages can come is maybe you're starting to sing a song or the lyrics come to you. What do the lyrics say? So to ask a question and then fall back into that relaxed state where you're listening. You cannot work for it because it's not coming from you. So why are you trying to work for it? That's why communication with Spirit is actually easy, because I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is listen and wait and be aware of change. What has changed? Am I starting to see a color? Am I starting to notice spirits coming? Am I feeling things? Are they activating things in my body? Like you can feel pressure around your heart. Your eyes can blink. There's a lot of ways they can get their messages through. If you don't try this, you never know. But I will tell you, it is amazing what happens. It is amazing at the information that comes through. And it has solved so many dilemmas in my life because I took the chance to ask, and then I did the work to be quiet and listen. That's the hardest part for people because they want to jump. They want to jump on it. They want to interject. They want to change the question. They want to be in control. And when you work with spirit, you learn pretty quickly you cannot be in control. It's a partnership. So ask the question and then wait for the response. Now, some answers to questions may need to come differently. Maybe a thought is not enough. Maybe they need to show you more. And maybe washing the dishes isn't enough of a relaxation for you to receive everything that they want to give you. So if you don't get an answer to that question, then you can move on to another way of getting it. A prime time to get answers to questions is first thing in the morning. As you're waking up, you are in that extreme relaxed state because you've been sleeping. You can wake up and ask the question and then close your eyes and feel like you're falling back asleep. It's kind of a bit of a game with our mind, right? It's like we know we've asked a question and somewhere, we're waiting for that answer to come in, but we have to forget about that. Because the more you lean forward into this, the more you overly focus, you probably won't get anything because you're being too active in the listening mode. So why are you trying? It's not about you. Let them give it to you. So you're just going to pretend like you're falling back asleep. But there's a part of you that is aware. You're aware that maybe you'll get a picture. Maybe you'll get a color. Maybe there'll be a feeling. Maybe a song will play. Maybe a thought will come in. Maybe a memory. There's lots of different ways that spirit can give us the answer to the question. And this takes practice, but I'm still doing it. I still do it when there's something that I want to ask. And if there's nothing that I want to ask, I may just ask for a message because maybe I don't know that I need something. And so this morning, I laid there and I asked for a message and I waited and I listened. And sometimes you have to give it a few minutes, nothing came. So that's okay. Maybe there's nothing I need to know today. I didn't ask a question. I just said, is there anything you want to tell me right now? And they didn't. So we also have to be aware that that has nothing to do with us. Nothing has gone wrong. It's just spirit saying, you're okay. And so I take that as a win. I go, great, nothing I need to know for today. So I encourage you to practice this. Practice asking first thing in the morning. You can ask for a message. What is it that you need to know? Or you could ask a specific question. And let me know how it goes. Drop me an email. info@schoolofmiracles.ca, and I'd love to help you out with this. So God bless, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And could you at some point in the day reach out to them and start the dialogue? Till next time, see you later.